Junior Radio. Whoa. 13 Hz on your stereo, yeah. Mutabaruka leads the way, so just you let the station fly, yeah. Say your teachings got to hold on me, yeah. Well, this is Kimani, I'm listening to, you know, Mutabaruka. IRFM, Cutting Edge. Whoa!
With Mutabaruka, we are listening to no one else. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
Good night. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. Carrying down memory lane. All them tune I hear play was big #1 hits in Jamaica, believe it or not. Including this one here. So there with you on next Wednesday. Coming down. The Wednesdays in your garden. Yeah.
Continent, with Mutabaruka, we are listening to no one else. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
Again, you're on the cutting edge with us. Sweet up my vibes. I know I play them tune because I want to play some of these kind of tune. You know them really? Yes. We want to heal up. Yeah, we want to heal up some people. Yeah, because we want to heal up. We want to heal up Carol. Yes, Carol Reed, who brought some young people down to 5 young the other night. Yes, I want to yell up the German and the Russian who stay with me till we done, till we lock off the set. Becoming a regular visitor down at Forever Young. So I want to yell them up. I want to yell up my 1 foot brethren who come from Negril. Yes. Man say everybody a talk about him now because them hear Mutabaruka play him CD on the radio. Yes, so I yell him up. Yes, brethren. Yes. I don't know how he reached down West Street there, but him reach. And I know it's not what him come from. I hear it's all Negril too. I hear it's all Negril too. But why yell him up still? Anyway, you know say things are going and some things are missing out, you know, because you see that plane thing, you know, 40 days it gone now and them not find the plane yet, you know. With all the science and technology where them have and look for this plane here. As a matter of fact, some I wish countries, some New Zealand who are flying some plane over the area, so them see a little basket floating in the water. So them take the basket and go examine it. To see if I really the plane the basket come off, but it's like CNN have no other news but that now. And it's that them dedicate the whole of CNN now to just figure it out what the hell is happening. I still try to figure it out too, but I now figure it out and I still don't figure out nothing, you know. And I still don't figure it out. The plane under the water there's somewhere, maybe it's all a little island underneath there, so with some people were breathe out oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide. Maybe it's a little place, maybe it's a little Atlantis. You know, them have a story about this little, them have a story about Atlantis, and people actually believe it, you know. There's an island under the sea named Atlantis. People believe in a mermaid too, half woman, half fish. People believe in a Neptune. People believe in a Zeus, people believe in a Jesus Christ, people believe in a all sort of thing. but a plane missing. And it's 40 days now this Malaysian airline can't be found. And there's a lot of theories that is hovering around now. Conspiracy theories abound about the plane. Maybe some alien from outer space took the plane away. Maybe somebody, people living under the sea, that grabbed the plane from out of the sky and draw it underneath the sea there. The people them is quite okay under there. Or just maybe, the plane landed at Ian Fleming Airport and was made invisible. But we know these things, if it don't rectify, we will continue. As I'm going to talk about them, could look people in the next 2 years. If I see that, I'm going to talk about that in the next 2 years, I'm going to look at this plane now. Wow. Big thing. Anyway, this strong is this Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a Monday. I never ever remember say Easter in a Rasta. Believe you me, I never remember say Easter. What do you know? Nobody now stop me from playing my tape when I go play last week, you know. You could have talk little more, you know. Tonight you know we have cut off talking if it get away, you know, because we want to play this John Henrik Clarke tape. Our office of the Jamaican people, they must hear. We played this tape years ago. We are talking about maybe 10, 15, I don't remember. Some years ago we played this tape here. We want to play it back. It's not Black History Month, but you know, our History Month is Black History Month continuously. We want to play the tape tonight. We want to talk to Maxine Store. Yeah, I don't know if you know, you might have known or not known that there will be a march. Ganja march. This march is from Mandela Park to Sir William Grant Park to Trenchtown. We want to talk to Maxine Store. She's part of the organizers of this march. And this also is the time when we look into, well, early next week is the time when Emperor Haile Selassie I came to Jamaica, 1966. And this also remembering the Coral Garden incident, Bad Friday, when we talk about Holy Thursday, Bad Friday, Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Easter Monday. And you know that every year Rastafari, brethren and sisters come together to really don't make this thing come out of the memories or the memory of I and I, brethren and sisters. So Pitfour Nyabinghi Center is where this anniversary will be held. Friday and Saturday. That is in St. James, Granville, St. James, Pitfour. You know, so we're going to be down there as we usually do at that time of the year. We are always there. So there's two things in the Rastafari community that we know taking place. One is this march for the Ganja, supporting the Ganja, and also the Coral Garden anniversary, the anniversary of the Coral Garden incident that took place in Coral Garden in 1963. That took place. And then we are going to also play this tape. Now I am very surprised to realize that it's only I alone that carry this news about the Queen. It make me sound like me in some wilderness. Why am I feeling like I am alone in the wilderness? This is supposed to be a big news that the Queen is not the legitimate Queen of England based upon our bloodline. This is now documented and is in England. Why is Uncle I alone I said? I don't understand this. Make somebody go call me and say, Muta, where get them foolishness from? we actually played a part of the documentary last week where the investigation lead to a next family in England. The queen is not the legitimate queen according to this documentary that is placed there in front of us. I don't hear nobody else has said. Anyway, maybe. And last week I was talking about my mother, and it was my mother first I hear tell me these things. I don't know if 10 years from now, 5 years from now, somebody ever say, what we did here, Muta said that thing from about 5 years ago, you know. That's how it always be. It is always like that when it comes on to the cutting edge and the things that we say on this program. 5 years down the line, you one I say, well, you know, say, Muta, remember that tape the way they played from 5 years ago? I play it back, you know, because we just get some information. Oh, me don't hear nobody mention this thing about the Queen and her illegitimacy on the throne of England. Because we know of these stories, you know. We know that no Queen or King of England could marry to a Roman Catholic. You think so them people don't have them prejudices and all these things? Because when Henry VIII Anglicanized England, Roman Catholicism was a no-no, the Pope was a no-no, and you could not marry into the royal family as a Roman Catholic. That is a fact. I don't know if the Queen changed it. I think the Queen a couple years ago mentioned this change of religious autonomy by the Anglican Church in England. But the Anglican Church is the Church of England under the auspices of a murderer by the name of Henry VIII. And now we are hearing that Queen Elizabeth II is the child of a illegitimate blood that is not supposed to be seated on the throne of England. And we are swearing to the Queen and our successors in the courts, in the police, and in all places that is deemed to be official, Jamaican official. The Governor General is the representative. That means the Governor if the Queen is not the rightful Queen, therefore the Governor General is null and void. I wonder if you understand where I go. They can't afford to make these things happen, though, you know. Because you tell the lie already and you stop the lie on the people, them, therefore the lie is the truth. Because I just saw certain history run the course that way there, you know. You keep repeating it over centuries and centuries, and a man come with the truth, and then now you can't unravel the lie because the lie is so dominant in the minds and the consciousness of the people that when they hear the truth now, it become almost stupid. In other words, why you bring up that now? How that ever change anything? What difference does it make? It's enough thing black people hold on pan. Enough thing black people hold on pan. That is a lie. In history, historically, we have been fed so much lies, and we keep regurgitating these lies that it become a part of us, and we don't know that if we start to see through these lies, maybe our perception of events and time and how we place ourselves in time would make a big difference to our social, political, spiritual, and monetary. We have life, but we refuse to use history as a signpost so that we can move forward. A people without a knowledge of them history is like a tree without roots. And we grab on to the first thing that come to it, that them call logics. We are defining ourselves through European logics and believe that is only European logics is sensible. And when we move out of that concept, that idea of European logics, it come like say, we're mad, we're crazy. We can see that in the religious belief, where black people hold on upon a religion to the point of madness, but them don't see it as a madness, because that is how them grab with. Them grab with such a way that the madness that we are in don't seem like madness. It seems like this is the reality. So they put us in an illusion for centuries, because them in an illusion to what is not illusion to them. But when you get conscious, you realize they are in an illusion, because they have repeated this craziness for centuries, that them themselves start believe the lie with them at tell. So can you imagine if the liar start to believe the lie that he is telling? Can you imagine the people them who these liars control and colonize and put in slavery? How much the lie will be a very important and significant to the slaves, who when they believe that they come out of slavery because them don't see the chain on them foot, and don't know say when them foreparents saw the chain, them use chisel and hammer and lick it off. Now you don't have no chain by your foot, you have it by your brain, and you get complacent in the slavery mentality. And because sometimes most of us go to schools of higher learning and we master the European logics scientifically and spiritually, we define ourselves in that logic. And when we start to grasp our reality in the thing that is in our DNA, it look crazy. So we deny ourselves. And Marcus Garvey said, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. In the race of life, Marcus Garvey said life as a race, meaning Usain Bolt, no mean black and white. If you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, and confidence must be void of illusions that has been placed there by the same guy who enslaved your foreparents and your fifth and sixth parent also. So we use their ideas and concepts and see through their eyes, through their spectacle. So the worldview that we have is not one of our own making, but is one of the colonizers' making. And we are colonized to the point of irrational thinking, but we don't recognize it as irrational, because what is the normal thing to do in this colonization was abnormal to us in our world that we live in, because it was not logical. Things that we now accept as logical was not logical in our space and in our time. certain things just run crossway. Black people, we in a serious mess. Very, very serious mess. We are confused. Very confused. These are confused people. And you can see that by your television every night. The confusion that black people in. When you look by your television, you see it. And you recognize how deep. You recognize how deep the confusion is in the minds of the people then. All you have to do is look by your news 7, 8 o'clock at night, and you see how deep the confusion is. Some people now come out of it. You could have talked a little more from now till thine kingdom come. Some people now go see the relevance of understanding what took place in history so as to move them in a next direction. Because when we go to school and when we go to church, it is there to maintain white supremacy. The church and the school is there to maintain white supremacy. You are there to maintain a certain level, a certain status. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
IRFM wishes to advise that the views expressed.
You are listening to Mutabaruka. Yo, Jimmy Riley, wagwan. Where's the Johnny here?
Yeah, we have been hearing a lot of meetings going on about ganja. We hear of the ganja farmers in Westmoreland, and we have a group here that had a meeting at the conference center anticipating the legalization of ganja. You know, the government says that this year ganja will be decriminalized in Jamaica. We see that a lot of man get old for ganja since the other day. I don't know if them don't know, say the ganja is still not legal in Jamaica. I don't want to misinterpret the whole thing, you know. The ganja not legal still, so police look like them are clamped down, anticipating that people believe that and now planting and feeling more free to deal with the ganja. But we have a ganja march that will take place this weekend in at the same time when they call it Easter. And on the phone line with us is Maxine Store, one of the organizers. It's one of the organizers, I must say. Tell me.
Yes, well, yes, because I'm doing organizing work. So
all right.
Organizer sounds appropriate.
All right. So when is the march, by the way?
The march starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday at Mandela Park, and then we go to St. William's Grand Park, cross Spanish Town Road to Trenchtown, to the Culture Park there, what's known as the Vin Lawrence Park, what we call it, the Trenchtown Culture Park for a rally.
Yeah.
That kicks off at 2:20 and goes straight into the night. As you know, the 21st is the 40th anniversary of His Imperial Majesty visit.
Yeah.
So there's a Trenchtown Nyabinghi Center just up First Street.
Yeah.
Brother Ross Bama. So there's a fire lighting, you know, going there. And then at 4:20 on that day, as you know, 4:20, for us it was an auspicious weekend with Coral Gardens.
Yes.
Anniversary on the Friday, and His Imperial Majesty visit on the Monday.
Yeah.
And obviously it's laid over the whole Easter situation. So Sunday now, we picked up on that date as an appropriate date to, you know, bring up this march. And then we found out that it's a worldwide ganja legalized day.
Okay.
We're at 4:20 all over the world,
Yes.
you know, ganja smoke has light up. So
Oh,
it
yeah?
just turned out, yes. You know, like when you light a candle, different type of celebration. So for 4:20 at 4:20 p.m.
on Sunday,
on the 20th of April, people all over the world light up in support of the legalization of ganja.
And this is Sunday you talk about that?
Yeah, this coming Sunday, yeah.
All right. So now, tell me exactly the genesis of this march. Why now and what it's supposed to be doing?
Well, actually, the whole march idea came up out of the conversations that have been happening, as you were describing, about ganja in Jamaica and the legalization. And it actually came out of some early meetings with the Ganja Growers Association.
Yes.
When Honor Bonnie Wheeler was approached by a couple of the persons from Canada.
Yes.
Because, Canadian market is a leading market now, also driving the conversation in Jamaica.
Yeah, because they want to import some from Jamaica and they might do it
from Jamaica, etc. And also, I'm hearing also that Uruguay is also looking to, to do that. So from, a lot of things that happen in Jamaica happen because of external forces, Mm-hmm. So this external export market now is driving. A lot of things that happen in Jamaica happen because of external forces, Mm-hmm. So this external export market now is driving the conversation that is happening overall, but specifically for Jamaica because of the opportunity, to develop its industry. Not just the exporting of the ganja out into these markets, but also the importation of the medical tourism market. Okay. Because these, I was just in the grill last weekend where about 20 or 30 medical marijuana activists from Canada were actually at a retreat down there. And this was their second year. Mm-hmm. So you can see how important that marketplace will be for, Jamaica as well. Yeah.
All right. I remember years ago, Bonneville led a ganja march. I think it was from downtown to Mandela Park. I don't know if you remember that march.
Yes, I wasn't involved at that time, but being the Iron Lion, who was part of that, was telling me the history. Yeah. Okay.
All right. When you meet in the Mandela Park, will there be a rally to or just the meeting?
Well, the rally, it was just their meetup. Okay. The march, we'll have a, massive trailer truck.
Yes.
Leading it off. But the actual rally will be held at in Trenchtown.
In Trenchtown.
Yes. And so we have most of the speakers are already the people that are agitating around the human rights, the legal rights. Yeah. The sacramental rights and how it's placed within that, and the ganja industry development.
All right.
And a specific focus on inner city youth, because they have also borne a large brunt of the criminalization. Yes. And so, we're very focused on their economic benefits, how they're going to play into that as well.
Just last week, we hear of some farm workers who couldn't go on the farm work because when them go get them police record, them did have a ganja, they must criminalize because of the same ganja thing. Them couldn't get to go at the farm work.
Right. Well, two things on that, Muta. I know that, because we met with the Minister of Justice, so we kind of have an inclination. They're supposed to be putting something to Parliament any day now, right? So I know that the decriminalization steps, they're making some steps, and part of it will be the expunging of records of people who have a certain type of charge, not the major exporters.
But just split
but just as ordinary citizens, smokers and stuff like that.
All right, tell me the route that the march going to take from Mandela Park.
Well, from Mandela Park, we go straight down, I guess that's halfway through road to Crossroads. You go straight down Crossroads, just past Slipen Road, and then you make that little left and go down King Street. Is that King Street where Liberty Hall is on?
Yes.
Then we go around the St. William's Grand Park and head on to Spanish Town Road.
So you're not going to stop at Grand William Park? It's just as like...
It's just a straight, It's just, getting the community members, downtown people, etc., involved for them to be educated on the opportunities that is goes beyond the smoking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Into the industry of it, because there's some exciting developments in terms of how this can transform inner city, you know?
Of course.
Communities, and give the youth them, you know, a point of view in terms of industry.
So it going to leave the Grandpa and go on West Queen Street to Spanish Town.
Right. Right, and then go through the, you know, that little market area, right, through Tivoli there,
Tivoli,
at the top of Tivoli,
and go straight
past and it's a good time to be doing that, because there's so much tension and negative, you know? So I know the word on the street is that the youth, them really looking forward to, you know, this march to, you know, change the temperature down
and
there.
who will be the speakers them in Trenchtown now when it reach there? Who some of the speakers?
Well, on the law part, we have Louis Moiston, because he has the most, you know, upfront historical perspective of the law from 1913 and how it was, you know, a very racist law, obviously coming from America and all of that. And then Charles Neeson from Harvard Law, he had made a presentation that really framed the situation for Jamaica as an international leader of the global legalization campaign and the benefits to Jamaica. So we have a video of his speech, and then we have Bert Samuels and Barry Franson speak, you know, discussing what he said. Then that goes into the 420 light up break, and then we'll come back into the sacramental rites, which will be a lot of testimony from communities, you know, leaders like Denroy Morgan and, you know, the various elders that have gone through, and some Howie Lights, etc. on that. And then we'll go into the industry part, where we have people like Paul Burke, Paul Chang, and, you know, some different youths that are into some ventures now with regards to the ganja industry speaking.
So we
have some edutainment, or just a time for reasoning and networking, you know, to build on all that.
So right into the firelight. I want to ask you the big question here now, you see? The light up part.
Yes.
How the organizers going to work that out with the law?
Well, I mean, there's a overstanding, you know what I mean? Because I think there's an overstanding generally. You know, as Rastafari ones, we know that there's a respect between the police and the community in terms of our sacramental rights, you know? So we are, you know, operating with that kind of headspace. And we're in Trenchtown, so it's not like Mandela Park, or, you know what I mean? We're kind of in a community that is...
So so have conversation with the police them yet, or just something where...
Yeah, man, we're talking to them. We're talking to them. And like I said, this is a global moment. It's not just, you know, it's something that is done all over the world.
Yeah, but you know, global movement means... if them catch you in a certain state in America, global movement, you're gone to jail, said we.
Yeah, well, not at that moment, right? I mean, from my observation of the history of the Light Up campaign, I have not seen anyone anywhere in the world.
So they had it before? No.
Yeah, they've had it for years now. You know. This is the first time Jamaica
why take part
will be linked with it, you know. But like I said, looking all over the world, there's a respect between the authorities.
Yes, and
you know, because it is recognized as an advocacy day. You know?
Okay, all right. So this Sunday coming up. The march start at Mandela Park. Go
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. Go to Arbitrary Road. Go straight down to Slipen Road. And go down to King Street, where it's going to make a tour, a detour from Grand William Park, West Queen Street, Spanish Town Road, past Denham Town Police Station, past Maypen, and go up on Cali Smith Drive, right?
Right there.
Okay,
right there.
All right. So,
and then, you know, so we're looking for major resolutions, and like I said, we know that the government is, you know, like you were describing before.
Yes.
Everything will be a transitional state from one to the other.
Yes.
And within that transition stage, we're going to get all kind of things, you know. But what we're trying to do with this march is to edify the community beyond incorporating the smoking, but taking that stigma away into the industry. That's what we're focused on.
Yeah, because people must understand, say, well, I don't know people, but I want to say, without sounding away, that I think smoking is the worst thing you can do with the ganja, believe you me. I think that there is more benefits out of it than the smoking of it. You know, that
yeah, well, I mean, the reason why we're focused on the smoking is because of the stigmatization.
Yeah, for the rest
because, as you know, the issue of the plant is so beyond. And it has been, how you mean it, like crowded by the smoking. So it's not anti-smoking, but it's pro the other aspects of the earth. That it needs to be released and its energy, you know, released back in the earth. Yeah.
Right, give thanks, Mama. Give thanks.
All right, bless up, Muta, and thanks for the time.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah, man, here, Muta.
Blessed.
Blessed. The lady then tell us that the 420 thing, it's the original them come up with this 420 thing and Muta. In the US, when police have a code for every different charge where they can stop a man for. So when them go up on a murder scene, them call for the thing and them say them have a 187. When them all a man is ganja, the code for the radio is them have a 420.
Okay. Never
so because of that now, ganja advocates in the US use 420 both the time and the date because America used the month before the date. So 420, April 20th. Then use both the time of the day, 420, as well as the date of the year, April 20th, to advocate for the legalization of ganja.
All right. Now. That is a good education. That's all. Give thanks, brother.
Yeah, man. Stay away, so much.
Yeah, man. We love that. Love that. The origin of the 420 thing. We love that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Rick is Muta.
Blessed man.
Yeah, first of all, I just thank you enough to educating the people about them culture and history.
Thanks.
And to highlight the social, economic, and political problem in Jamaica, in the world.
All right, give thanks, man.
Yeah, but the main reason why I'm calling you Muta is because recently I sent you an email and a letter. Offering to invest $1,000 US in a youth to go towards building a capital needed to set up a venture capitalist corporation.
Come again. You're going to invest $1,000 where?
Yeah, you.
Oh, you're going to invest $1,000 US?
Right, me email you, I'm write a letter.
Okay. All right, explain that now. Explain how that works out.
Yeah, it's like, it's to invest $1,000 in a youth to go towards building the capital when needed to set up a venture capitalist corporation.
Okay.
To facilitate the development and investing in the expansion of black business,
Okay.
In Jamaica.
So you don't need some people put $1,000 too?
Yeah. So that may I do online. I try to get your listeners them to join in. It's like 1,000 of your listeners they want to invest $1,000 US, that's $1 million. $1
million US that?
Yeah.
Okay.
100 million Jamaican dollars. But then once you have the money, then you can do something with it. In terms of building a company, corporation, farm, in which it will be owned by the investors and you will be the CEO or facilitated in organizing the investors then into a group.
It sounds good, the idea sounds good, but $1,000 US is 100,000 Jamaican, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
But we are going to target the Jamaican with the overseas, like
the
US and Canada and England,
Well, continue the journey and see, because now that you put it on the radio now, maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people out there listen to it and just say, yes, tomorrow man, them ready. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it has to get your endorsement and say
like 1,000 a year listeners come and endorse it. They say, they're willing. Email you are willing to invest in you,
of course,
then you will set it forward.
Man. If me have $100 million at my disposal to work for black people, trust me, it's going to work for black people. $100 million, you're going to try to see it more than with the government and look for the IMF that. You understand?
Mostly on YouTube, they have 2 channels that broadcast the program. And they have over 5,000 subscribers.
You see, right?
You know, and mostly on that channel on YouTube, I put it forward,
5,000 subscribers on the channel?
Yeah, man. There are 2 channels, man. One have 2,000, one have 5,000 subscribers.
Which one of the program them subscribe to?
The whole of your program them on YouTube, man. Just type in your name and you
No, me know, say somebody program them on YouTube, but that's interesting that they tell me these things.
Yes, so then me that target in terms of getting them together.
How far you reach with it?
We don't know that. I put me tell them to email you, but we don't know if you check your email. I
don't get your email. I don't receive
the email, you know.
Where the email name,
Me?
Yeah.
You know, Clive Watson.
Well, I have to go back and look at my email because I don't remember that name there.
The irfm.net email, man.
No, my email. Watch out, man. That's not my email, Rasta. That's why I not see it.
Yeah. And let me get off my website so I got an email me and use.
You have to call the operator and make sure you give my email.
So let me get the email because I put you on online. So online, I'm going to put it on the people.
Oh, you're going to put me email online?
To the people, they have to put it.
So you put it online now. It's not joke me to get it's a problem that to me.
Yeah, then that's why I use the IRA email. So if you take the IRA one, then you can see it.
Me not see it.
You know, on the IRA, move at irafm.net email.
I have to go look there. I have to go look.
You know, I'm saying you a letter, you know, receive a letter.
You know, say.
We need a letter, you know.
Which part you send it to?
To the Ocean office.
Alright, I have to go check that out too.
Around 3 weeks, I'm mail it out.
Because it's 2 days, me down here, it kind of, me check it out. If it's there, me get it, trust me. If it's there, me get it.
Yeah.
Alright? But that, it sounds interesting the way I say, you know, I mean, it sounds very interesting. I could have never run from that.
Yeah, because I think at some place you have $100 million disposal, you know, you can set up.
You say you have 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel and listen to Stepping Razor, Cutting Edge.
Yeah, man. 5,000 subscribers to a channel with a broadcast, Stepping Razor.
$1,000 man, because that's supposed to be illegal too. Supposed to pay $1,000 for that.
But I think most of them are away from the sideline for hear you end that it, you know, the program.
Okay. Yeah, man. So, like, if we
I think a couple people tell me to they email, you know, but you don't check your email.
No, that me not check my email. And that me check my email, but me not check the IRFM email.
Yeah, the IRFM email.
Check my email. Alright, I'm going to look on it though. I'm going to look on it. Yeah? I just keep in contact with me. Yeah?
I'm going to get the email from the operator.
Yeah, alright. Give thanks.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, the brethren, that sounds serious. That sounds very, very serious. Very serious. I could have never run from that suggestion. Believe you me. The holiday is upon us and the program sound like a bright day. So you can just imagine if you have so much of these things, you can just imagine all tomorrow. You know, well, I saw it go. Money I have to make, what you mean? And if I saw the money I have to make, it have to make. And through this program, alright, we could know say that. But we could say this now. We're going to play this tape where we're supposed to play. You understand? And we want you to listen. Get Peter matching stick, hold up your eyelid, get some coffee, or start walk up and down in your house. Listen, John Henrik Clarke, we don't have no friend. We have no friend.
I was supposed to be here early. They gave me another assignment. They didn't pick me up to go to the assignment. I followed their instructions and waited at the hotel. I would love to be here when I can be more fully in depth on this subject, because there's a whole lot of illusions about Africa's relationship with other people in the world. There's a whole lot of illusion about our relationship to the religions in the world. And these belief systems that had its origin in Africa, all of them, and there is no exception, turned on African people. I said there is no exception. And there's one thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception. Everything that was brought into this continent, everything, every idea, every so-called religion was meant to dominate and to control. The Arabs had no illusions about it. The Europeans had no illusions about it. You were the ones with the illusions. And yet every element that went into the making of every major religion in the world started in Africa. Why is it that you were so naive? You let people redress something that you invented, sell it back to you, and enslave you through it. I'm saying that all organized peasant religions are male chauvinist murder cults. And I say there is no exception. While I wanted to be here early, I wanted to deal with our relationship with the people of the world and the fact that we created peaceful nations that had no word for jail because no one had ever gone to one. No word for old people's home because no one ever threw away grandma and grandpa. No word for orphanages. We did all of this, and over half of human civilization was over before we knew that a European was in the world. Before he wore a shoe or lived in a house that had a window. Now Africa has always and still is the prize for the whole world. We as a people have always been the world's richest people, culturally rich, mineral rich. We have always been the prize because we have always had and still have something that other people won't, think they can't do without, and don't care to pay for. Because we have always been the prize, we have been under siege for over 3,000 years. Nothing that ever brought into Africa from the outside was meant to do the Africans any good. That means all other religions. Islam was the handmaiden of Arab imperialism. Christianity was the handmaiden of European imperialism. The Hebrew faith was the handmaiden of a concept called the chosen people. Now, if God is kind and God is merciful and God has no stepchildren, he won't choose one over the other. And to say he chose some people, you're making him a bigot. And to say that he endorsed enslavement of one people over the other, you're making him an accessory to murder. The Arabs used Islam to rationalize their slavery and their imperialism. The Europeans used Christianity to rationalize their slavery and imperialism. Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror. There's a billion African people on the face of this earth. Why are you buying third-rate junk from third-rate people thinking you can't make it? Why don't you at least make a safety pin and hold your child's diaper together? Who has programmed your mind at thinking you can't make a car? The first man that made a car, they had never seen one previously. The Japanese bought cars, bought locomotives, broke them down and studied them, and had a Japanese technician produce each piece, put it together, and had a much better train than the one they copied from. All knowledge in the world belongs to everybody in the world. Yes. Who has programmed our mind in assuming that we cannot run a nation and run it well? The main thing imperialism did, slavery and imperialism, that they removed African people from the respectful commentary of history. And they tell them something they are still telling them, and all of the organized religions are guilty of this. I favor none of it because Africa didn't need any of it. I'm saying that African belief systems, properly understood, is 10 times better than Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And better for the Africans. Now you might have some romance with one of these religions. I have no romance with any of them. I have a romance with reality and truth. And the chips can fall where they may after I tell them. As for friends, you have had no friends. When they discovered you, they began to prey on you. Now let's look at our relationship with Western Asia, mistakenly called the Middle East. For 3,000 years, our greatest enemies came from Western Asia. They were trying to avenge the fact that they were once African colonies. You read a book called When Egypt Ruled the East, and you get some of the basic information on this. Now, the first visitors to Africa came in the 1700s BC. These were the people who would later be called Hebrews. Now, black people are ticklish on this because black people think that everything in the Bible is true. I question the intelligence of anyone who thinks everything in the Bible is true or supposed to be true. It's allegory, stories told to illustrate a point at a time when there were very few people reading books. And most of what went into the making of the Bible was copied from Egyptian texts. Now, if you want to get so dewy-eyed over the Bible, which is a carbon copy of a carbon copy, why don't you go back and read the original Egyptian text? Then you see where all these stories started from. You see where the story of the Exodus started from. Now, you get so dewy-eyed, you actually think there was an Exodus. These people walked into Africa. Why couldn't they walk out? Why did they have to go by sea? Why did they see at the park? If you read Egyptian literature, you discover that the whole story of somebody parting the sea started with about 3,000 years before the Hebrew entrance. I should not use the word Hebrew entrance, but the entrance from Western Asia. Now let's get one thing straight, because black people are confused about all religions. Now I'm not against any religion. I'm a very spiritual human being. I just don't need a priest to preach no 10 commandments to me when he's a backslider going with some other man's wife. I'm intelligent enough to pick from the 10th commandment, well, not commandments anyway, but they were omissions of purity at the great school at Luxor, the great African training school. All right, now, let's get into this Western Asia. I'm saying that the people who came from Western Asia escaping famine did not have any Hebrew faith when they came into Africa. And there's no record of a Hebrew faith before that. Why is it that when they left Africa in the so-called Exodus, they had all three? African culture, an African religion, and an African language. Now look at the origin of the so-called people you now refer to as Jews. And you're mistaken using that reference because the word Jew is of European origin. And the people in Europe who call themselves by that name have no relationship to the biblical people of the Hebrew faith. And I'm saying that the people we now call Jews entered world history with their visit to Africa. And when Africa was invaded, 1675 BC, instead of joining the Africans who had been their beneficiary and saved them from starvation, they joined the enemies of Africa. No one has ever returned any favors to us. As a people, we have always been hospitable to strangers, mostly the wrong strangers. And what we have to understand now, in the period of superior brainwashing, is there is no European answer for African problems. Either Africans find a solution to African problems or there is no solution. And if you don't find a solution soon, you go back into slavery. We have to stop all of this nonsense about who belongs to what religion when all of them were imposed on us in the first place. We stop all this fight between Muslims and Christians when neither one of the religions are doing them any good or moving them toward independence. All of them are handmaids of conquerors. All of them are religions of conquerors. We were naive when we accepted their interpretation of something that we had all along. I'm saying we need to take a good look at ourselves. I'm not talking about burning churches. I'm not talking about getting rid of religion. Understand me well. I am saying that every single thing that touches your life, religious, socially, and politically, must be an instrument of your liberation, or you must throw it into the ash can of history. Develop a liberation Islam. Yes. And if you develop the liberation Islam, you have to turn on the supreme slave traders who were in the slave trade 1,000 years before the Europeans, the Arabs. Yes. And most brothers who think they're Muslims are merely Arabists. Forerunners, vanguards of Arab propaganda. The Arabs are not above joining the Jews against black people. In America, they're already doing it in Detroit. In America, they're already doing it in real estate. You got some doing-eyed thing that you got a friend. I still ask you to look at that mirror. And if nothing staring back at you is friendly, then you've got no friend. So this is why you start friendly. All right. I'm saying something which you need to reconsider. I'm saying that everything that came into Africa, every people that came into Africa, did not come to do Africa any good. Everyone and every religion and every people who came into Africa declared war on African cultures. They began the bastardization of African people, created confused mulatto who didn't know whether he to be loyal to his mother's people or his father's people. That confusion is still here. The fascination for the color of the conqueror and the fascination to go to bed with the conqueror. Now that's raw and mean, but it's true. Now, some time ago, a North African leader, Gaddafi, was sending some Libyans to study in Europe. And he told them what any good nationalist would tell students going to study. I'm not sending you to Europe to find a wife. I'm sending you to Europe to gain the technology to come back and make Libya a strong nation, a strong Islamic nation, and a strong Arab nation. And you cannot achieve any of this between the legs of a European woman. When is somebody going to get strong enough to tell Africans, go into school, you're going to come back home and pair up with a sister. But if you want to pair up over there, stay over there. Now, the one thing we have to look at, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to conclude on this because I've left out a body of information. At the university, I teach an entire course, semester course, on Africa's relationship to other people. And I devote several semesters to Africa before Europe, the consequences of the coming of the Greeks, who stole a lot that they think is their culture, stole a lot that you think is Greek philosophy. We've been the victims of propaganda. And yet, if you read the Journal of African Civilization, other works, we have lived in Europe, we've lived in Asia, we've lived in the Americas. The African people have already proved that they can get along with different people, amalgamate their culture with different people without one hint of a war between us. People who come into Africa immediately declare war on African culture, standards of beauty, standards of conduct, and change the African concept to theirs so they can rule through him. This was true of the Greeks, who began the bastardization, against the European bastardization of Africa. The Western Asians had begun it 3,000 years before that. The Romans, a bunch of well-dressed thugs who could write well but couldn't think, who borrowed practically everything. They laughed at the Africans' concept of Christianity. The African was practicing and not giving it a name. This is why you don't know nothing about the African origins of Christianity. This is why a whole lot of people will not read Ben Yarkinen's The African Origins of the Major Western Religions, Africa, Mother of Western Civilization, a Black Man of the Nile.
R.E.F.M. Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yes, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We want to continue the journey that we start with Henrik Clarke acting, very hot, I tell you, very hot. But we want to look me hungry, yes, marketplace, who is providing us with food in the night, is the only raw food place in Jamaica. You understand what I say? It's the only raw food place in Jamaica, while others may have raw food, but they have something else. This place is the only raw food place that I know of in Jamaica. So you look handsome Ras. Anytime we go down there, handsome Ras. If you don't, then walk out. You understand? Handsome Ras, man. Okay, so we are continuing the journey.
Borrowed practically everything. They laughed at the Africans' concept of Christianity. The African was practicing and not giving it a name. This is why you don't know nothing about the African origins of Christianity. This is why a whole lot of people will not read Ben Yarkinen's The African Origins of the Major Western Religions, Africa, Mother of Western Civilization, a Black Man of the Nile. Because he's telling it like it is, but you also will not read white radicals who identified Africa as the origin of the great religions of the world, especially Alvin Boyd Kuhn in his work, Who is This King of Glory? And shot off the 3rd century. We have Deborah John Jackson, another radical black historian, with man, God, and civilization. We let some of our great scholars die in hunger, die wanting for friendship. Now, having devoted my greater portion of my life to scholarship and teaching and digging up information on African people and trying to make African people face reality, I have often said, a point that I wish you to consider, I didn't have to do it. I chose to do it. And if I had to do it over again, I would do it better. I have a lot of talent other than the talent to teach and to research. I've never met a rich man who had a better mind than me. So if I wanted to succeed as a rich man, I could have done that. I never met a crook who wasn't a fool. I could have been a good crook if I chose to be a crook. I chose to be a teacher of African history. I chose to look in the Bible where I couldn't find my people. I started looking for them in the world, and I didn't stop until I found them. And I know why they are left out of the Bible. I know why all the angels are white. You mean to tell me God is merciful, God is kind, and not one little brown or black angel sneaked into heaven? I ain't buying that. Now the Bible that you get so dewy-eyed over is one of the greatest pieces of propaganda ever written. If you want to read the Bible, why don't you read the Bible one day and read Mein Kampf the next day and see the comparison? That's hard on your mind. Because you think if you don't have Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, you don't have to have spirituality. I've got more spirituality after I put all of them down. And I've got more religion after I put all of them down. All right, now let me conclude something that has no conclusion. We have to look at the impact of Europeans on Africa. All impacts have been negative. The Romans laughed at the early African Christians. Finally, for political reasons, they stopped killing Christians and became Christians. I'm saying the Europeans became Christians for political reasons. As the Arabs became political reasons, they stopped killing Christians and became Christians. I'm saying the Europeans became Christians for political reasons. As the Arabs became Muslim for political reasons, and as the so-called Jews became Hebrews for political reasons. People use organizations for political reasons, and we get so dewy-eyed and think we view the truth. If you look at indigenous African belief systems, if you look at the idea when Africans had no churches of any consequence because these fools came here and said, this is the house of God, and the African looked at that church and said, if God who made the wind, the spring, made the ocean roll, and you're going to tell me he can fit into a little thing you call a church? That is no house of God. So somehow we had the common sense enough to move away from it, and some had the common sense to put it down. I'm saying that you're closer to God when the further way you get away from organized religions that are all handmaidens of conquest. The Roman Empire developed during the early period of Christianity. Remember, the Roman Empire started in Africa. It rose in Africa. It fell in Africa. A lot of people need to stop reading some religious books and read some straight history. Without fable, without supposition, without myth. Read straight history. Read the Mediterranean world in ancient times. She's a racist figure, but her chronology is good. And there's a good history of the European trying to move out of Europe into the Mediterranean to find something to eat, to put on that gosh darn awful European food. He has solved his problem at the expense of other people. The slave trade liberated Europe from the depressed economy they had created with the so-called crusades and through the famines and the plagues. Europe always solves its problems by preying on people outside of Europe. They're in a position right now that they have betrayed true socialism, which was not of European origin in the first place. And some people are confused between Karl Marx and Groucho Marx. I think a lot of people a Groucho Marxism instead of Karl Marxism. They're funny people. And if you think that system started in Europe, no system as humane as socialism could have started among a bunch of icebox people who prey on their brothers for their breakfast. Read Kwame Coulson's work, The History of the Modern World, especially the early chapters. Now, the evidence of Africans in the New World, the evidence of 1,000 years of civilization before slavery, all of this I'm not discussing because there is no time. But when the Romans disgraced themselves in the mismanagement of Christianity, they created a vacuum. Islam moved into that vacuum. The Africans thought that Islam would get the Romans off of their back. They were right. Islam got the Romans off of their back, and the Arabs jumped on their back, and they're still there. Using Islam to justify it. Now, the African military man, because we're the greatest fighting machine in the face of the earth, if we ever discovered this, people gonna start running. Under proper leadership, proper inspiration, properly equipped, the black man is the greatest human fighting machine God ever created. If indeed God created it. I think the gods of Africa created it. Once you lose track of your heritage, you lose track of your liberty in this world. The Europeans doing the slave trade not only read the African out of history, they colonized history, they colonized information about history. They colonized image. They colonized the image of God. Who told you Christ was white? He was born in that part of the world predominantly occupied by non-European people. So you should not get into the argument about what he's white. All you have to say, was he a Greek? No. Was he a Roman? No. But these were the only people partially white in the area at the time. If he wasn't a Greek, he wasn't a Roman, he was one of those other people. You don't have to argue about the shades of color. So far as you're concerned, once you establish he was not a Roman, he was not a Greek, your conversation is over. Now, if somebody else want to argue about his shade, well, that's their problem. And if you got a problem with color, then you got a problem with your mother and your father. You have insulted your mother and your father if you don't like what they gave you. I wear mine like a badge of honor. I dig it. I wear it well.
All right. Love it.
I'm saying in closing, and I am closing, that what you have to do is take a holistic look. Not only at your position in the world, but your potential in the world. You have to learn how to convert everything into an instrument of liberation or leave it alone. You have to realize there were no Greek fraternities and sororities until they were introduced to secret African societies. People get all dewy-eyed over something that was imposed on them in order to control them. Without understanding that. That's another imperial effort. So it bothers me. And although I have good personal friends who are Muslim, and not a single Muslim scholar have dealt with that 1,000 years of African independence before slavery and how the Arabs from the north systematically destroyed these nations. It did not occur. 1591, from Morocco, an army was launched against these great independent nations in inner West Africa. These were great states. Because of poor communication between African and African, there was enough armies in these states to march down to the coast and to drive every slave trader into the sea. But the communication between African and African was so poor. Even today, the East Africa is not too clear about what's happening in West Africa. And nobody knows what's happening in North Africa because the conspiracy to hold on to Africa is happening in South Africa and in North Africa. So the whites in North and South Africa willing to play a part, and the pseudo-whites in North Africa willing to play a part. In all this world, you have no friends. But if there are a billion of you on the face of this earth, scattered all over the world, what do you need but a friend other than yourself? Why can't you turn inward on yourself and say, I will wear no clothes I don't produce. Start with your underwear. I wear no shoes that's not made by a brother. You're creating a shoe factory, employment at once. Start buying aeroplanes, break them down and study them, later on make aeroplanes. What this whole thing is about is the restoration of confidence. It has been the role of these handmaidens of colonialism to destroy your confidence in yourself. You don't believe that you can look like a god. You don't believe a black father in your home is to some extent a god. That doesn't make the black woman less than a goddess. Because we produced the first human society that recognized and respected the female god. We produced the first human society that said you can't be a king unless you got a queen. You can't be a god unless you got a goddess. So you can see all of these social ills that people are defending now, none of it started in our countries. I defy anyone alive, and those who want to come alive, come back and prove me, I invite them too, to show me one single case of sexual deviance or maladjustment any place on the African continent for the coming of foreigners. I defy you to show me one case of teenage pregnancy, one case of ill treatment of women. We got confused with someone else's ideas, someone else's concept and definition of us. What we have to understand is that faith has not spared us for an idle reason. A whole lot of people who've been hit less than us are extinct. What is there in us that made us strong enough to take this heavy blow? 500 years of slavery, one way or the other. Slavery, neo-colonialism. What made us strong enough to survive? What is faith saved us to do? And inasmuch as we gave the world its first humanity, faith has saved us to give the world its last humanity. What we have to do is to believe it, to believe that we are worthy of it, and to believe that we are capable of it. What black studies should be about, what black religion should be about, is the restoration of the confidence. And the restoration of the confidence.
Yes. We're going to pass the time, past 7 minutes past 12.
You can't be a god unless you got a goddess. So you can see all of these social ills that people are defending now, none of it started in our countries. I defy anyone alive, and those who want to come alive, come back and prove me, I invite them too, to show me one single case of sexual deviance or maladjustment any place on the African continent for the coming of foreigners. I defy you to show me one case of teenage pregnancy, one case of ill treatment of women. We got confused with someone else's ideas, someone else's concept and definition of us. What we have to understand is that faith has not spared us for an idle reason. A whole lot of people people who can hit less than us are extinct. What is there in us that made us strong enough to take this heavy blow? 500 years of slavery, one way or the other. Slavery, neo-colonialism. What made us strong enough to survive? What is faith saved us to do? And inasmuch as we gave the world its first humanity, faith has saved us to give the world its last humanity. What we have to do is to believe it, to believe that we are worthy of it, and to believe that we are capable of it. What black studies should be about, what black religion should be about, is the restoration of the confidence. And the restoration of the confidence is we must rule the state again. There is not an imitation nation, not an independent nation in Africa or the Caribbean islands. They're all imitation European states. And what we have to understand is that the nation state is stagnant. The African did not live in a nation state, they lived in a territorial state. The African learned something that's very basic. Cultures have to be fertilized by cultures. People have to be fertilized by the interaction between cultures and cultures. This insecure European tightened his borders. You know, you got a passport to come here? The word passport is not in any African language. The things he invented to restrict himself, he imposed on other people. Once we gain confidence in ourselves, and once we look at that person staring back at us from that mirror and like what we see, and don't move from that mirror until you like what you see. Then, in coordination with other African people throughout the world, we will give the world a new lease on life. We will turn to all of our people and not one part of them, because we came from a matrilineal society that respected women to the point the lineage came down to the female side. We must answer the call of the great African-American poet Margaret Walker, who said, "Let the dirges end, let a new peace begin. Let us write a new covenant for the freedom of ourselves in the world." African men throughout the world need to step forward and answer Sister Margaret and say, "Sister Margaret, we have heard your call. And because we have never been a society that excluded women, with our women at our side, we are ready to pick up the challenge. We are ready to start a revolution that will change the world. We won't get ready tomorrow because tomorrow's things are left to tomorrow. We will start our revolution right now, and we will start it with ourselves." Thank you.
You are listening to Mutabaruka.
I tell you, all I'm saying is "Hello, my baby." That's all I'm saying in the saga. It sounds so sweet. Lady Smith, Black Mambas out of South Africa. What can I say about that lecture given by Henrik Clarke? I mean, I know, say, people who did want to sleep, wake up. Yes?
Wake up.
I know, say, people who did want to sleep, I say, well, I can't just listen to part of this thing and go to my bed. I know, say, them couldn't sleep. Believe you me. The man has said things, serious things too, but we need to rip it in our ears and in our consciousness. Because as I did talk before I clear this tape, this idea of illusion and not knowing is an illusion is a serious thing. You see, if we didn't know it was an illusion, then we could have used it and know it's an illusion, but we are using illusion like it's our reality. And we fashion and shape the illusion in our consciousness to the point where all when we don't see the colonizer, we behave more like the colonizer than the colonizer himself, and we can see that in the political system. We can see that in the people who feel like say them have it more than some other people. History is a landmark. No one wants to stuck in history, or not nobody ever get stuck in history. But history teaches us many things about what is happening today. And what is happening today is because of history. We have a favorite saying that we always say, I am my ancestor. If it wasn't for my ancestor, I wouldn't exist. And if it wasn't for I, my ancestor would not exist. So it's a reciprocation of the consciousness that is I. And we elevate that consciousness in the realms of historical references, because nobody in history that we refer to is here now to tell us. But because we have taken over or taken on that mantle of our ancestors, we can now relate that history to our children and our children's children, and even to ourselves. Black people have to recognize how important it is to do away with these ideas and thinking that has colonized us for 500 years, that has done nothing but put us more in the quagmire of hatred for ourselves and hatred for others. And who want to walk around with hatred in them thinking, and who want to walk around with hatred for other people. You don't want to do that. Who want to walk around hating your brethren or your sister, the dogs and the cats, the cows and the birds, the flowers and the bees and the trees? Who want to walk around with that? You have to elevate yourself. The elevated self is the self that is not touchable, but it transforms your perception of understanding who you are and what is your purpose and what you are supposed to do to make life more meaningful, not only for you but for others around you. Black people need a self-examination that only can come through the recognition that we are brainwashed. We are brainwashed. We are filled with hatred for ourselves. We destroy ourselves every day, whether with food, whether with each other, or whether with others who are not each other. It's a terrible thing we find ourselves locked into. We have to wake up. Wake up. Sweet chariot coming forth to carry me home. Metaphors on top of metaphors, figurative language on top of figurative language. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you.
Mutabaruka.
know, if we go back to the roots of our Africanness, because most of us is stuck in this Solomon and David story, because we feel say that give credence and validity to our spirituality that is defined even here in Jamaica as Rastafari. We can't really say and understand that what we are saying in Jamaica is gone beyond Solomon and Sheba, gone beyond David and Goliath, and that we have to recognize when there was no religion, we had a divine connection with self, a spirituality that defines itself through our everyday living, through our love for nature and things that include living and unliving, animate and inanimate objects. We share a certain connection with them, but we lose that because we now define ourselves through a condition and a situation that has nothing to do with the reality of our existence. And most of the things that we believe is placed there by the invaders, as you hear Henrik Clarke talk about the conquerors, the colonizers. We have to return to the source. The source. When the source was the idea of nature and respect for nature. And most people who hold on to religion don't have no respect for nature. You hear them talk about God. And the God where I hear them talk about don't have no respect for nature neither. Because him send a flood and wipe out every living thing that was not in the ark. Children that was born and children that was unborn was wiped out. The biggest mass murder in history. From an entity that is supposed to be all-knowing and knows a man's heart is corrupt from them was created. And if I create a something that was corrupted from the beginning, why would I want to sell a flood to wash with these people and then start over the corruption again? I don't know about the all-knowing in that. The all-knowing supposedly know, say, this was what will happen and prevent it rather than go through this mass murder. I wonder if it's a dice showing game this supposedly God is playing on human beings. It would appear to me like this is a dice showing game of one. A game of dice showing. Heads you win, tails you win. This is a cutting edge. Black history, consciousness, revealing itself. Henrik Clarke, music and reasoning. And that we are work with. Praise music here, but we are going to the phone call. Yes, here.
Yeah, nighttime Muta.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man, the thinking man this side there.
Okay.
You know, when Muta me a 65-year-old. I see when me a boy, you remember some picture where them used to show. One particular one I like when them call some people with wings come out of the sky with swords in them hand. They call that Judgment Day.
Okay, I'm a Gideon.
Yeah. Well, never look a poem for deep to address that, you know, more.
Yeah, but you have to, it's not a long poem like the last.
No, man.
Yeah, because you have enough advertisement that I forgot you, you know.
Alright, let me run it. This poem is called Picture. The aim of this composition is to revisit the images that were projected to our ancestors Here we go, picture. I mean, say picture, no picture. Yes, picture. Well, I no picture. Picture, no picture. No picture. Well, I yes, picture. Because me still a picture, the picture that them use to feature. Preacher. Yes, preacher. What about the images they use to feature? What about the things they use to teach me teacher? Creatures that brings out of the sky, them a fly. With sword in a hand, them a descend from the land. Preacher, yes, preacher. Then they need it early, but now them late. So no expect them to fermentate. Nothing ever lasts forever. So might as well you scrap your endeavor. From them the image may have to migrate because they can't afford to lose my faith. I say picture, no picture, yes, picture. Well, I know picture. Picture, no picture, no picture. Well, I yes, picture, because I'm still a picture, the picture that them use to feature. Preacher, yes, preacher. When make you stop feature, the images you use to feature. Yet I teach the same things to me teacher. Preacher, yes, preacher. What about the snake with it talk to Eve and cause Adam to get this seed? Preacher, yes, preacher. The youth them say them shock and amaze. How people used to be in a sword fight days. But nowadays it's gone them a free. So them the creatures would have to flee. Preacher, yes, preacher. Might as well you go deliberate. About them the images you need to update. If I was you, tell you what I would do. Instead of sword, I would have given them chopper. Take off the wings and put them in a helicopter. I say picture, no picture, yes, picture. Well, I know picture. Picture, no picture, no picture. Well, I yes, picture. Because I'm still a picture, the picture that them use to feature. Yeah, more like that.
Yeah, man, you need to go out there this poem World Festival, man. You know, go up there, Portland. Next week.
Yeah, I want to tell you, we have it right from the board, April the 27th, Portland.
Yeah, April 27th, yeah.
Yeah, why, Muta, I like it.
They have something named, Mike. Open mic, you know, where you can go on, even though you're not on the posters and all everywhere there. Yeah. Which part you live? Which part of the man live?
I'm not Spanish Town area. Them call me Spally. Spanish Town area, me there.
Where you read the last time, but we just want to tell you about this thing here. Will happen next week, Sunday. You know, I mean, you say you have it on the board still. But if you try to make it, we have to remind the people them that next week is the
which part you say in Portland?
Oak Beer. On the beach, right on the beach, yeah. Right on the beach.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, me hope to see you in a Muta.
Yeah, man. Me go up there, man.
Alright. Yeah, man, me know that, man. Me hear ya talk about it. Alright. Anytime me see me, I'm making much of the thinking, man.
Alright. Give time.
Alright, God bless you.
This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. You know, that I watch, I see through the religious channel them on the TV. You know, you have these evangelists, these American evangelists, and there's a big, well, I forgot his name to you, actually, I didn't write down his name, but he's trying to explain the authorship of the first five books of the Bible, that is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. You know that we grew up to believe, says Moses write this thing. But after examination, there's no way, if you examine these books, you could actually come out back and say, it's Moses writing. It's only people who get stuck with them learn, when them are picnic. Still I say, it's Moses writing, because academia, theologians, and a whole heap of preacher know say Moses never write it. And we did ask a question long time. If Moses did write these books, why is he writing it in the third person? Up to now I don't get no clarity. But we know that a whole heap of people want to show you, say no, it's really not Moses writing. And then put letters, because they don't know the original name of these people. Then put letters to represent which part of the Bible written by which person. You understand? But now, here's this evangelist on the television now. He's agreeing that Moses never write Genesis, which is really complicated issue word there. He says Moses write Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, but he never write Genesis. Here film conversation now. Him say Adam write Genesis. I tell you, the man says Adam write Genesis. The first man, right, Can you believe that? This man supposed to be the first man, as if write it. When other people tell you say Adam was not individual man. Not even in the Torah, they might show you. In the Hebrew translation, Adam is not a one man. But this evangelist now, very so-called articulate in examining the information that is presented, is telling me that, well, Moses write the 4 books, but it's not Moses that write the first one. As a matter of fact, is Adam writing. Where the hell did Adam get the understanding about writing for a write book? I mean, I forgot. God gave it. That is what they usually say. When them can't explain certain things, them invoke God. Anyway, the reason why I said this, is to show you how we did have our thing going quite okay until somebody come and lick it out away. And then everything get mixed up and confusing. Everything. Yes. Yeah.
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 Muta night.
Night, sir.
Alright, here we are going on. Soon get married and thing. So we can't need for stress. But now I have to
you soon get married?
Yes, man.
So your wife has stressed you?
Yes.
And you soon get married and your wife has stressed you? So,
yes.
So why not divorce your wife and go marry the person who you have to soon get married to?
Alright, here we are going on. You see the book them, because I know really that they want to explain. But as a company Bible thing, no man ain't give no dominion and no Bible. You understand? Who you believe that they get the dominion over Bible?
Dominion?
Yeah. It's like you're right.
What dominion mean? What dominion mean in other context?
Ownership over a thing. Dominion meaning ownership. You have ownership over a Bible.
Dominion no mean ownership.
What do you mean? When you have dominion over a thing, what do you mean?
Dominion no mean ownership, Rasta. But for the purpose of your conversation now, who get ownership over the Bible?
Yeah. No man never get no ownership. Like Moses and Ezekiel are with them one name. They only contact, but they none of them are rightful.
Alright, so who own it? Who own it?
The Lamb, man.
Which Lamb?
Revelation 5 Muta.
Which lamb you talk about? Which lamb? Tell me. Revelation 5 said, weep not behold the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root and offspring of him.
No. And he said, and no man in heaven and earth
was worthy to open the book and to lose the seal.
Neither to look their hand.
And one of the elders said to me, weep not. Behold the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root and offspring of David, that prevailed to open the book and to lose the seal thereof.
So who is the lamb then? The lamb is the Bible.
Who is the lamb? And that may ask you, who is the lamb what you are talking about?
So let me tell you, the Bible never says Moses or no man.
So may I ask you, who is the lamb? The lamb.
So let me ask you to help me.
The lamb, are you bring up both lamb, And you say the lamb is the lamb who own the Bible. And then you tell me that, so who is the lamb in your definition of lamb? Who is the lamb? Because we know lamb as an animal, We know say a lamb is an animal. So if it's the lamb who own the book, we don't know. So may I ask you, in your definition, because you bring up the argument who own the Bible. And you say the lamb who own the Bible. Who is the lamb?
May I forget this one scientist?
No, Reggie. Oh, you bring up conversation. That's why your wife are left you, May I ask you, who is the lamb that you're talking about? When you quote Revelation 5 to me, who is the lamb that you're talking about?
I just say lamb now, see?
Yeah.
What we are talking about, that may actually help me out with.
We can't help you out because of you. What tell me about lamb? Me don't know who on a lamb. Which lamb? Me not believe in a lamb. Me not talk about no lamb. Me not mention.
No, you don't talk about no lamb. I talk about Moses and them.
Yeah, me tell you say the preacher say it's not Moses right. Genesis is Adam. And him write the other 4 books. And me I tell you say it couldn't him Moses write the 4 book because him attack at the 3rd person. You come up now and quote Revelation 5 and tell me about lamb and who have dominion who own the book. And me say, me don't know who own the book. Who own the book? You say, the lamb.
Yeah,
so who is the lamb that own the book? Who is the lamb?
That own the book.
Yeah, and you talk about lamb in a brethren. Who is the lamb that own the book? And that me ask you.
Man, we have dominion over it.
Web name? Lamb? A lamb him name? Web name?
Shepherd, man. Shepherd.
Web a shepherd him name?
Yeah.
And so when first name is?
Alright.
Where you laugh? Then you tell me one name, you tell me shepherd, you tell me lamb, you tell me shepherd. What's the name you ever tell me now? Dog and pig, goat.
Lamb with the shepherd and lamb would have been sheep, don't it?
I don't know. Lamb. So is that sheep own the Bible then? Is that sheep own the Bible?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Sheep and the shepherd.
So the sheep, where the sheep there? They are your farm?
The sheep.
The sheep, yeah. May I ask if they are your farm?
Yeah. Yes, man.
Because I come kill it and make curry goat, you know.
No, I want a chicken back with curry, man.
No, when we curry goat too. We curry goat. Jamaican people love curry goat and rice. And if you have one lamb up there talk about him own Bible, we'll come up there, come kill him. Anyway, we have to move that over because them argument they appear full talk. Yeah, that's why your wife are going to let you know. Believe me, that's why your wife are going to let you. No, we're not saying nothing else. We're not saying nothing else. We're not saying nothing else. Yeah, this is the cutting edge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, DJ Kev and Alabama.
Yeah, wait a man. There.
How you do, sir?
Well, there I got to try a black consciousness. That reason
that
the spirituality.
With the fun.
Yeah, all the while that to the pan.
You missed the live feed, you can tune in and listen back. But we have a complaint still, the online login now work tonight.
Oh? Well, I have to complain to IRFM about that.
You call him already, man. Can you say step it, cut in, that's why we're there.
So you're not saying you want to do a lot to the brethren?
Me see him, I see him on YouTube too.
Oh, him have a picture on YouTube? Him picture on YouTube?
Yeah. Me see him on one of the video, them him talk about the thing and say him would contact you, like in a phone call.
Yeah, contact me, man.
Alright, good. So I say now, more people see know, so what you do is a serious job and it's not easy, you know. It's not an easy work, you know. Because you see when you go out there and try to show certain people the knowledge, you face a lot of opposition, you know. You try to talk to your friend and your close one them and examine and scrutinize this religion thing, and it's like a fight, but you know, we know your man just say what you say, and you gone and you go through.
You don't care after them. No, watch out. When me I say on the radio, so no, if a man fire me tomorrow morning, me not go sit down on the street, you know.
No, man.
You understand? Me not go sit down on the street and me not go bake bread. Because me not eat bread. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, unless I'm a brethren go bake a thing and work it out. But me not go in a store go buy no bread. And I say, boy, not one of my seats I sit on the sidewalk and eat bread.
Yeah. You should not live like bread alone.
Yeah. We don't need no bread, we don't need no butter. I mean, have the biggest bun and biggest cheese, alright, now I don't eat bun and I don't eat cheese. So you must know.
Yeah, when I get diabetes, you know.
No, me not eat it. I tell you what, me have it there. Me have the biggest bun and that's why me not eat it.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure you like the thing. I have a sister out, a man girl in Alabama. She's nice African black girl, and let me see her when I sing them about Jesus. She run me and say, hey, Kevin, no. I mean, no, I ain't get nothing. But that's what I have to say. You laugh. She has to me, you could stop talking. So that she said to her,
yeah, but you stop talking to you too, man. You stop talking to you too. What you mean?
And then I have a next bedroom out at children. Me and my reason. See, and I talk to him a certain consciousness. Whole time me and I talk to him, my phone call all done. And I remember understanding, alright, you see them 2 cases now?
couple months after, these two people me I talk about, call me, I apologize, and I said, boy, Kevin, we can't believe that we never analyze this thing, and we're sorry.
So what them do to analyze it? How them call you back 2 weeks after? What them do to analyze it?
Then go research, dig up that. Me learn so much. Till me learn so much things from the both of them now. Till me I say, wow.
Yeah. That good.
So it changed the going in a kind of slow certain way, and people think it happen.
We know it's slow because me never did there, so. You know. I come here, so, you know. So me never did there, so. Me nah go tell a man that some me the thing the whole of my life.
Yes, sir.
It's an evolution, it's a staircase climb, you know. Nobody can say, him reach God, you know, or find God. Because God no last, nobody find God. And you can't say why you reach now, therefore. You can't know
continuous journey.
Yeah. It's a journey, it's a lifelong journey. And you evolve with
people understand that.
Based upon the information represented to you, you analyze the information and you put it together in your head and you say 1 and 1 bring 2, therefore does that. I'm not afraid to tell a man, say, me know not that again, you know, this me now. You understand? So,
I'm sure, say 1 and 1 are 11. I'm sure him say no, you know, see a 2 man say no 1 and 1, you say 11 man.
Yeah, well, idiot people say them fool something there. Because them out try to show you why 1 and 1 is 11. You know, it's like some psychopaths there.
Business. And if the black people will have text, oh yeah, moving. Alright, tomorrow we'll be stepping. Martin, Uncle Martin, and my daddy there, listen, so I have to dig him up.
Alright, sir. You know, say holiday now, and the adverts where them come fast and furious. Remember, say we were there, little more, from 2 to 5, 4 to 5, with the stepping razor, the art of war. Okay, so I just hold it there now. That you have Rastas who go to church and call upon a Greek name, Jesus Christus, and not question it. That is how weird it is. That as a Rasta, you say Jesus Christus, and you don't question, how is it that I as an African, I use a Greek name to identify my saving grace, my spirituality? It's crazy. It's crazy, really. Yes.
Greetings, Imagine.
Yeah.
Blessed, man.
Highly.
Alright, what may I say to you? For real, man, the inner spiritual man is one of the greatest things. When a man can find him inner self, you know what I mean? Alright, as may I say to the brethren, then,
Which brethren you said to him? I said to which brethren?
Are you married with me?
No, you say I said to the brethren, like, you can't talk to me like me as a fourth person.
No.
Okay.
As man I said still, them say them have a problem in the education. It's just a little thing I try to say yesterday, you know? Alright, you know, the school system, remember so when the youth them leave school, it's like, them go back to art to get a certificate done. Alright, you know, the system, most of the youth them might be have a problem, you know, in getting the mathematics and all them little things in school. But the youth them very talented in them skill areas. It's a simple thing like, why them not try to implement like some more, you know, in skill areas in the school system, like when the youth them ready to leave school, why them not like present them with a certificate, like a level 1 certificate already then in the era where them strong, like, you know?
Yeah, well, I say, them used to do that in the technical school, them, you know, but more and more them are liquid the technical school, them. You know, you used to have practical work go on in a certain school where people develop them skills in a woodwork, you know, in a science lab, metal work and all them things there, but everybody wants on doctor and lawyer, you know, that's why you have so much murder, because we are trying to fit the lawyer them with the murderer them, you know. So we have bring out the same amount of murder we have bring out the same amount of liar to fit the thing. Everybody can be doctor and liar, you understand?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because simple thing, you know, it's like a man might do in CXC and he might get too much subject and thing, but if you go to look at job, the most man, you don't have enough experience.
Yeah.
To apply for the job, and you just left school.
Oh, you have left school and have experience.
Alright, my blood.
You're supposed to have experience in the classroom and in the laboratory. As you get the certificate where you are talking about, I'm going to say, look, I know. For 4 years, I go to school, and this minute I do, you know, I have some look at you, I can learn more, but this is where I'm there. You get what I say? Yeah. You get what I say? Yeah, sometimes I reason with the people, you understand what I say? No, what you want to know? Me pass through that, you know, brethren.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, when I left school, I'm going to look for it, man. You tell about, you have an experience. I'm going to say, but we don't left school, blouse and scrub if you have experience. What kind of experience you have to do? You know? It's like a madness. Oh, you have to have the experience of what I was, you know, if you ever climb up on a light bulb and fix a light.
Alright. You know what I mean? And all of your years you spend in a classroom.
Yes.
You know? That's what I mean. And you not get no practical because I just run the book from yard to book.
What me I tell you say me used to have practical, that me I try to say me used to go to technical school. When we used to make a radio station. We used to do electronics, we used to do woodwork, metal, we make table, we make car part and all them things in the class as our exam subject. And you go, if you go look at job, and a man I say, so this is an electrical firm, you know, you have any experience? We say, no, sir, I don't have school. But
remember, so then they present you with a certificate, right? This man is certified with a level 1. In the 3 years, like, you're not qualified.
Present. Oh, yeah, I man, present you with one, man.
Then it's not sure, brother.
I present you with nothing. That's why you have to know. That's why the dilemma there, you know, because when you go at the man place and tell him, say, a Kingston technical me used to go, you know.
Yeah.
And for 4 years, me there, me had to woodwork and come and said, no, that's not enough. You have to have some experience.
You have to have a piece of paper. I show, man. I'm not sure.
I made a big brick.
That's what I mean.
That's why the man talk. That's why the man, the brother, the thing, you know, say, I black you, go look at work. And you tell him all sort of foolishness. They don't deserve a lick in the head, man.
Alright, let me show you another point again, brother. Alright, look at that point now. Alright, we are trying to measure up with the American system. Let me understand, you know. The Americans send them youth to a school but provide jobs for them when them come out, you know. You understand what I mean? In other words, we have so much abandoned building in the state there. Where we say, and we still identify places, build more buildings. And in other words, we have so much talented tailor. We have dressmakers. We have a lot of people come from out there. And there's nothing made in Jamaica. You understand what I say? They say, boy, we have put up something in our say. Alright? And Jamaica produced it. You understand what I say?
Yeah, but look at now. We have a Minister of Finance who go find, go borrow money to pay money where we did borrow before. Not we, but them. So the money where them I get now, you know. It's to pay about money where they did borrow for a longer time, you know. Because 60% of our food come from foreign. Most of the clothes where the people are wear come from foreign.
Yeah.
Them look on the television and see sex are going will come from foreign.
Yeah.
Most of the music we are listening to come from foreign. The religion where we are thinking about come from foreign. So it complicated. It get crazy. It gets crazy. And every time you start to do something nationalistic now, you hear say, you kind of get kinky, you know, how you deal with.
Yeah, man.
You want to eat out a calabash from you're supposed to want to eat out a coconut shell. You're supposed to have Chinese crab rib made in China or Taiwan. Yeah. That's when they drop on the ground and you lick your picnic and say, look how you brought me nice crab rib.
You know what I mean? It's like them artificial business, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Too much artificial. At times we wake up and realize, man, and understand where the world is headed. You understand? And try to make the youth them understand too. Because the generation before us, you know, at least them try. You understand? And we come. So what we most can do now is to try to set a date to the generation where come, at least make it a little bit easier for them. Because if the cycle keep repeating, brother, repeating, it just was not back in the same circle.
Same way.
You know what I mean? And we now really realize and say, yo, make a friend somehow. What we have go wrong? That means that it just keep going around back in the same term. You understand what I say, blood? Yeah, you know what I mean? But give thanks, man, I'm blessed here. One of them.
Okay. See, so we are talking about it now. You are saying. We could go over what we are saying. We are saying that the only thing said is that all the man them set up the thing now is that them want the youth them go around them computer and get some foreign phone number from some old people and go to a man to go be and start a business. Which the business now, we're going to give them a BMW. Where next man I work how much years, sir, and him do every buy the BMW now, is in company letting the BMW. And the youth own fee BMW. But guess what? The business where the youth own the BMW is illegal. But you never did set nothing for him to do or get the BMW that way there. Because you tell him go to school for much years and tell him say if him get a good education he can come out and get a good job, and when he come out he can't get a good job because he don't have no experience. So he just create an experience himself. And that's what the bombshell they know. The bombshell they don't know where you who are work for 40 years can just afford to buy a BMW. And him who are work for 1 year I buy a BMW for not only his girlfriend but for his brethren. And it's an illegal thing. You don't know what you want him to do. What you want him to do because you're not set up nothing. You're not set up nothing. So God in the whole quagmire, the abyss. That when a guy go look at you and tell you, say, boy, right now, you have any experience? You say, no, I just left school. Him say, well, you know, we're going to need people who have like 2 years experience or 3 years experience. You say, all right, boom. The next time him see you, you own the business beside him. You know, go to Westmoreland. I go get cocos bag of the good weed. I just send that way and come back. Millions of dollars. I just go buy the building beside him. And I say, but wait. And that boy, I didn't know that boy there. He used to come on my shop, come look work. Now the man have business beside me, big electronic firm, a nightclub, go-go club, and all these things. Like a 20-year-old youth have a go-go club beside me there, you know. And I want to say, look like him open all that church too. It's a function. That's what we call it, function. Yeah, dysfunction and function. Of Africa and what Africa have to play in the progressive movement of our people, African people in this part of the world. Because you see, if we feel Africa, we feel ourselves. And we need some form of direction into an African-centered perspective. Our worldview must be centered in an African-centered perspective. Because if you don't center it that way, all of what we are doing is to maintain white supremacy, colonialism, and an extension slavery. Are we working to maintain because we can get some dollars? No. We just keep maintaining the status quo that was given to us by the European invaders and the colonial masters. Are we just there to manifest them work, or are we there to carve out a future that is based upon our DNA, our cultural perspective, our spirituality? Are we there to just tag along like zombies, or are we there to create a new person, a new person, a new creation? Yes, cutting edge.
That's what more time.
Yeah.
Well, brother.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, man.
Don't ask me where I go on again, you know.
Respect our manners, man. Mobay where I call from now, you know.
Alright, and you are one of them we met about a while ago. And you are the computer man we just talk about a while ago.
No, the computer man is the original youth, is Franconair from Mobay, you know.
Okay, alright, so we are coming down the weekend. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, every year we come down and want to come celebrate. Well, not celebrate, but keep up the anniversary of this madness with them go out for Rasta.
I know me after the man that talk about the Ganja thing, and me I say, boy, right now, when we check the levels, you're going to find some big Americans come down, come take the business from the Jamaican people, and they don't know what they're doing.
They don't feel them down here already. Them down here already, you know. Them come like ticks. Just a wait for us find the right path to get skin and dig it out.
Yes, man, the sharks out, you know, so that's why I people just open their eye and just know so they don't have to make no politician come fool them, you know, see, and just unite with the thing where they might deal with, you know, see, unity and strength, you know, because they come over and find some man come and start sell out the thing and they get sell out and buy out and go to some big company and the little man them on the ground now have nothing to get, you know, see. Yeah. So I just that really me want the people to just wise up and just know what they own and just know what they might deal with. And you guys see. Get you out of the dilemma arena, you know?
Give thanks, Bridget, give thanks.
Big up.
Yes. I saw it go. Watch me now. You know, all the rest of them in a man, you know, say Raspido come from up in them area there, yes. Raspido, the poet. Modern, ancient. I remind you about this poem festival, yes. Next week, Sunday, 27th. Oak Bay, Portland. The whole world wrong. The whole world wrong. Yeah. Cutting edge.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What about, brother?
Cutting edge.
Blessed love.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. I haven't heard your voice. I haven't seen you.
You haven't heard my voice? Why you sound like an angel in the sky that talk to me, I know when you say that. Like, you know, you haven't heard my voice?
I don't mean, man, we just dive in the thing.
Then you say you haven't heard my voice, Rasta?
Blessed love, man.
I don't see it on our street. I don't understand that.
No, get
what happened now. Time you run, come down there, come look for me, you just don't come back.
No, Farai. You know, say the work and the timing and everything.
Which timing? Which timing? At church you go?
No, man, I contributed there to some painting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Believe it, Farai, and through me, me just come into, you know.
Eh?
Yeah, and we never didn't know what was the topic.
Well, we have play a Henrik Clarke tape, say we have no friends. Africa has no friends. And they show a whole historical background to certain things.
And the you mentioned about no friend, you know, we remember me have no Delary, look out for your friend.
I know he's with Delary now. Probably go tell you to Delary too, you know, the year, about 20 years ago, you tell me about Delary's.
You can't stop, Kawa. If you mind me a friend, and if you down in a rum lane,
Yeah.
In rum lane, you know, a good friend run the place.
Yeah.
And there's a particular friend, that is why you keep hearing me saying about Delary. With me, I'm just friends. And my whole life deal with friends.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, you have to have friends, you know. You have to have friends.
Yeah, but there's a particular one where, boy, I believe it. The animal come from Barbara Manley Center. He is from out the whole family there.
What name?
His name Rudolph Cook.
Him related to me?
Why? No, you know.
Oh, because the Cook name there is have a relationship, you know.
Okay. I want my brethren where they live at Johnsonville there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, man, and from Wesley, can't be there.
Yeah, from Wesley, yeah.
The bigger brother this usual go Wesley. He Mark Latour.
No, but you know some used to go Wesley too.
Officially, man.
Yeah, man, me used to go Wesley, man.
Cause yesterday, I'm 45 now, you know, cause looks does deceive your body. You understand?
Yeah, man, yeah,
so, you find some boy, why I mention Gary every time, often time, I just, today, the band, me and a friend, the Alban, Gallery say, watch out for your friends, though they lose in the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes they try to make these things, but what is a man without a friend?
That is comment.
Yes, exactly. So if I say, ever have that in touch with me, because good friend to me is better than pocket money.
Well, you know, it's a sin to me, they put you onto that tune there, and every time, there's not one time in history for the past 20 years you call me, you don't answer the tune. And why you turn up your radio loud?
Every time, brother.
Turn it up loud, because I'm going to play it right now for you.
Just bless up brother Scope and the whole Rumbling crew.
Alright, sir. Them a listen to you, them a listen to you.
Every time, my brother.
Alright.
Take care and bless it, love.
For your friends. Watch out for your friends.
Very soon, for all the people, them, they are Yoban Street, Foster Lane, Gold Street, Maid Lane, Wildman Street, Hanover Street. Where miss out any of the lane, them a come cross. Go right down to Rum Lane, know you mean? Yeah, man, and that's where we come from. Yes. De La Reese, a sweet song, that bridging there, 20 odd years now. He may play that tune there, and it's stuck in my head, and there's not one time him call, and I ask if he play it back. So, I saw it go. We love how them things they stuck in our people consciousness. That's what I say. You think so we had the thing in vain? And them man, they make me know that it's not in vain. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, blessed.
Yeah, like the Henrik Clarke. Yeah, man. Right.
Yeah, man. Powerful, powerful.
You know, sir, I don't say something before you play that, you know, about Haiti. Then say, Haiti, it remains as an example to us of the slavery and things. You know, so it's an insult to us when they have Haiti in the condition where they have it in right now. So nobody else can come and help you out, wipe your nose and nothing. You have to do it yourself. So the quicker we understand that we have to do it yourself, and the faster things are going to work out. You know? Nobody else now going to be fair, because we actually up in our 60s and now 50s, 60s, and we don't see nothing done, so we don't know. Yeah.
Well, we have to do something still. We have to do it something, because if them not do it, who will do it? Now we?
Yeah, the thing is, one of the very cool things is Africa. That's the reason the whole Caribbean fat the world. We have Africa that's fattening the world also. And here, Haiti, in this hemisphere, remain as an insult. You know, an example as to the condition where we're supposed to remain and be in. No, it's not supposed to continue, man. And that is that China. So you see, black people are so friends. Because all of them were enslaved you, rob, and kill you, and pick your bone and everything. So, you don't have no friend, you have to do it for yourself.
Well, that Henrik Clarke I said.
Every man
Every man has to study and find out about the other man, the white man who put you in slavery. You have to study his nature, his very nature. You were told to do this. This is a part of the study. You have to study his very nature. And then study yourself.
Yes, sir.
Nobody else has a free, you know. Nobody else is going to come out free.
You have to free yourself.
You have to free yourself. You know, see,
yeah, man, we see it.
Everyone make a conscious decision to appear in the garden. You enter the garden, but you sleep. The white man keep you comatose, sedated to your very nature, your true nature of yourself. So here you are, waiting for somebody to move a magic wand. It ain't gonna happen. You, every last man, and the reason why I'm saying this, because it comes from you, among you. I'm the spirit truth of the matter. I may share it with you. I've been trying to share it with you for such a long time. I mean, we talk about this all the time. But my intention is to have no regret on this matter. You have to study, black man. The only way you're going to enlighten your brain, enlighten your heavens, and to the truth of the matter, is read, study. The truth is in the book.
All right, sir.
But somebody else can do it. Mother and father can do it for you.
Yeah, you have to do it yourself. After the message. Give thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, as the British attack, you know, we're supposed to go to Guinea and them say Ebola is in Guinea. There are about 18 people dead in Guinea because of this Ebola. Now my thing, you know, really and truly, me realize we build up a different way because my concern is how is it that white people go down in the Ebola and help black people and them now catch it? All the while me I consider that, you know, myself. So when you look at certain war-torn areas where you see them have aid and all these things, white people them deep in it and them now get shot, them now catch a disease, and them in some place where them supposed to catch a disease. Well, me take this thing killer my head, say me now stop, me now make none of them things that stop me from go where me want go. Because me hear that me want go there, because me tell you say me catch malaria more than anybody else ever catch it in Jamaica. The next thing is what for go dead. I mean, no whole heap of people dead from malaria. And me never dead. Me never dead. And me there enough to tell the tale, say, me did that one of the worst strain of malaria. Me in a hospital and them quarantine my house. Me in a hospital, university hospital, and them go quarantine the house. And they say them can't take me out there until they take out all strain of the malaria out of my blood. You understand? And me I say, but wait. All the while me I look and I see the doctors them and things with the amongst the people them where have the malaria and this and them now catch it. The Ebola, them World Health Organization send people go down in Africa, in the Congo and them place there to go deal with it, and them now catch it. Them just go back to Europe said we. The first time we go to Africa, Nigeria, me have steel pulse. Every one of the steel pulse man them gone back to England with malaria. Every one of them. But me now gonna make that stop me. Believe you me not gonna make it stop me. Because me see people go at the place right there and exit. Just like how me see Japanese a walk in the ghetto, in the nigger light, and nobody not trouble them. And you have black people who are afraid to go downtown in the night, even though some part of it light up. And me see Japanese people a go session. go Raytown. Sometimes you don't plug a Raytown, like some Japanese people just walk come and say, wait, where them come from? Them go anywhere they want to go, we afraid. When you think they're going to stop me, they don't stop me, you know. Believe you me, they don't stop me. Trust me. Because remember, when the Iraq war, it just started, you know, them invite, and I want to tell you, I was supposed to be in the company of some illustrious people, like all Mandela and all them people there, and them invite to another company, they go down there. I don't know when it happen, why the thing is like them that say the safety is not guaranteed certain way, even though them that got supply with you know what, but heap of safety and all these things when it never work out. But guess what? Me never tell a man say me nah go. Because man I got cut off your neck and Arab I got do this to you and this to you. Things them don't know who them want to kill, them know who them want to kill. Me never say me nah go because of that. Me never say me nah go. Me ready to go. Because me want to go in there. Me want to go down to Iraq. Me want to see what is this thing. And it's when the war did just start. When everybody afraid. Just like the time when the plane blew up. Me hear all that I would him not travel again, foolishness. The thing that never stop me from travel. Man throw bombing out, look at now. One flight missing now, Malaysian airline, missing. For 40 days, it missing. And me remember me dep on Malaysian airline, I got Kuala Lumpur already. We reach Australia. And me I think back on it and I say, but wait, that plane, could have been the plane where last, you know. You think that going to stop me from going on plane? You're crazy, yes. Yeah.
Yes, Rasta.
Before I take a call there, there's a story about a man saying, nah, left him house, you know. Him say, him nah, left him house because no one get himself in no trouble. And him say that you go buy a jelly coconut, you know. And him chop the coconut in him house, drink out the water, and throw the coconut through him window and lick a whole man kill her. That is what we are talking about. Yes. Yes, Bridget.
Yes, Rasta, man. I like that. I don't hear of them, man. I say I like a lot of your sisters and them like when me are motoring and cutting it, you know, stepping razor reason. Real.
I don't hear one thing what you say a while ago.
Real. Real, man, me both, man, and I hear me that say, you know, the people them say them like when me are razor real cutting it, stepping razor reason, you know.
I usually reason about.
Mr. Great, you said the motor me doing music, man.
Yeah, but when me I usually reason about when the people them say them love you when me I reason. And people that tell you that up in your area.
Like we have put things into practice and
like what? Remind me of my brain.
Like me, man, we sue America look actual money.
Okay.
And I make I interview me, I come down and I lock the gate like a parrot gate.
Me I lock the gate? Wait, hold on. What you mean
me come out.
They say, Una lock the gate. They might lock the gate. No, you say, Una lock the gate.
Yes, man, I don't lie me.
Then how you call Uno mean me to wait, hold on, you know. You talk to me and I say Uno, that means you involve me in a Uno.
Alright, that's not call you not all.
Tell me the security I lock the gate and tell me say Uno and me don't like
Alright. I have something on the motor. And one time they come to judge us them with hot firefights, you know. And then lock me up. Next time after me sue them and have to dismiss to the Buddha. You know, I have a greater freedom story as a black man in America.
Yeah.
A black professional. And like me, when I help America, I do when I sue them for money. Like me do something wrong in suing. Like
so how much money you get when you sue them?
I say, I don't get none yet, Buddha. You must get the lack of Mandela for.
So how much money you take to get? How much money you take to get?
15 million plus interest to sue them for. Sit there know what America. Curry book and short games.
So when them say you go get it?
And the time to move them want to be a smart at least Jamaicans to march. Because they will say them have to obey their land.
Me ask you a question. When them say you go get it, watch out.
It's not about the money movement.
It's about what? It's about what? Which principle?
The principle of obeying laws and order for every black man. The black man doesn't treat you below your law, your order. If you come kill off black people to get one to obey your order. If you get what me has to move that.
Jamaica and America if you quarrel with, I know we if you quarrel with. What you quarrel with me for?
No, but
No problem, because we stop stand up mood and Jamaica stop stand up black people the whole world gone down. Marcus can't land this. I need you to tell them about me, what do you need work for?
Alright, you see, no, for you start perform now, Ganja gone, you know. Ganja gone for you start perform, you know. Because you take thing make joke, you know. You're not serious.
Real cheese and the cheeses make the cheesy stuff.
Little more we are talking about. So, you know, we're there for the running, you know, and we always at this time say give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the time and the energy that you spend with it. And as we say, we will come forward at 2 o'clock. You know, but we just want to tell the ones them say Africa is calling. Africa await its creators. We have to be something that we have never been before. We have to be a new creation. We have to recognize what we have developed here to free ourselves must be completely us and not trying to strip away illusions and make it divert from the point in question, which is to reclaim our African being, our Africanness. And if we knew what it is or what it was to be an African, we wouldn't be doing the things that you see is happening right now. We are the 6th most murderous country on earth. And in the top 10 countries, there's no European countries in that top 10. None. In the 10 most murderous countries on earth, no European country is in that 10. Most of them is South American countries and the Caribbean. We have a serious, serious road to travel. Yes, cutting edge.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Oh, you know what, Richard, is that thing I want to talk about for a long time.
Yeah, well, you don't know much time, 4 minutes left for the program done.
You know what, first thing, it's the white people. That's how they're wrong. And the white people, Caucasian, are real name with them. So if you white, when you associate yourself with the color white, and take the purity of the color is it. And I just saw a conclusion coming. So when put you on the right category, and then maybe we can see it in our life, we see it, isn't it? That's not what I say.
Alright, so give thanks, Bridget.
Yeah, so no matter with the white people, they got they're in the right category, and we go in the right category, and then we balance out.
So where's the woman call them? Tell me.
Caucasian, man. We call him Caucasian, because we are Negro and them are Caucasian. So I feel for
we are Negro?
Yeah. I feel good to be a Negro.
Yeah, but me prefer to call them white and call myself Negro.
No, man, you can't call me white, because if you white...
Me an African, me no Negro. How you get to be Negro? Where Negro come from?
That's even better then. That's even better.
No, but wait, now, you correct me about one thing and then gone way over the top of the next thing. You know, so that...
You know, so watch, I live and learn. You know?
Yeah, me know, but that me I say, you correct me about one thing and gone way over the top of the other thing.
Like how? When you are going over there?
Because I am totally agreeing with you when you say, don't say white. Okay, but I cannot agree with you when you say me a Negro.
There is not me someone liberalite, mongolite, and carpet.
Yeah, but me no Negro.
Yeah?
Me no Negro.
Alright, the correct name or correct term.
African, me African.
Alright, I just said it then. African.
Yeah. Alright, sir.
European, Ray. And we're going to put you in a category then. I just say thing or just say
alright, sir.
Yeah, man, bless it.
Yes. Yes, okay. You Masikela. Africa, the man called you Masikela. Matrix in the house, but I don't like how Matrix looks tonight at all. I don't know where up now the road to make him look so. Matrix, we're going out there, man. Why you just come in and just dreary and dull? You work too hard for your bike, man. Eh? Your bike can take away your straight man. I see you coming and looking dreary, man. But you have me to the program to 6 here. And you don't give me a thumbs up. I don't know. Yes. So, you know, Beatrice in the house looking dreary. Him no want to give me a money for doing program because I'm ready for to go till 6, you know. You know, so we usually go to 6. Yeah, you have a bridge in your name, girl, more upstairs, you know. The man don't make no ramp for the come, you know. The man don't ramp for the come. That I run much to come after me too, you know. You know, missing my wife. Oh gosh, man, sit down, to the. You have to find out other things for the 6 o'clock. That's the people that say, yes, put a go till 6. Yeah, man. Whole heap of time. In the early days, we used to go till 6, man. Believe you me, whole heap of I'll get more big name. I'll get more, yeah. Never. Sometimes you don't come. So, yeah, you know, I'm going to sit up there and go and do it. Anyway, I got regard, you know. And we're going to go out with this soon, you know. This is the cutting edge on RFM. Little more families will come forward with stepping razor, the art of war. God, oh God.